And we wanted to do a football segment on the Morning Brew, and who better? Hey, Khalil.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well.
We're just talking about that awesome Broncos game last Sunday.
Yes, it was. That was an instant classic right there.
Sure was.
Fantastic. A lot of good games last week.
Yeah.
Weekend. Yeah. Indianapolis, Seattle was a good game.
Yeah,
Two teams
Yeah.
of the future. We
Yeah.
should be looking out for a long time.
Yeah.
We've got a big slate of games going on this weekend.
We'll go NFL first.
NFL first.
Let's
NFL
go.
first. I want to mention a game that you mentioned earlier, St. Louis and Houston. That does look like
Coin
a dog
flip.
matchup. It's
Yeah.
a coin flip because Matt Schaub, his confidence is shaken. I think he's
Yeah.
the first quarterback in NFL history to throw 4 pick sixes in consecutive games.
Yes.
And there's talk about him getting benched. And you have the upstart St. Louis Rams, who are a young team.
Right.
And we're going to see if this is the year. They gave Sam Bradford that big contract, drafted him number 1 a
Right.
couple years ago.
Now he's got to produce.
Yeah, he's got to produce. I predict, but St. Louis is going to possibly run into a little bit of a buzzsaw with Houston's defense being so tenacious. I predict a very close game. Houston ekes one out.
I'm going with Houston as well.
I am too.
Yeah.
All three across the board.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I think one of the big marquee matchups is New England versus New Orleans.
Yes.
That's going to be a pretty good game. The game is played in New England.
Yeah.
New England has had some offensive woes last week, only scoring 9 points. I think it was the first time in 54 games Tom Brady has not thrown a touchdown pass. And New Orleans 4-0. Sean Payton's back. They're looking back to their old form. That, I believe, is going to be a shootout.
I think you're right. This is the quarterback matchup that you'll tell your grandkids about. Hey, I saw Drew Brees and Tom Brady play together.
Yeah.
Exactly. 2 Hall of Famers.
Oh, no doubt
I have
about
faith
it.
in Drew Brees. He'll squeeze it out.
You think so?
I
You think New Orleans
so.
is going to squeeze it
I'm
out?
going for the Saints.
I'm
Well,
pulling New England by 3. Last second field
I'm
goal.
giving it to the Superdome as the 12th man, New Orleans.
Okay. Okay. That's a good one. That's a good one. We have the classic matchup on Sunday night. Redskins versus Dallas. You know, it
Old
seems.
school NFC bout.
Yeah, right, right. And the now anemic NFC East. I don't even want to talk about my 0-5 Giants. It's going to be
man.
very upsetting to see what happens there. We see Washington's coming off of a bye week.
No.
Did that bye week give RG3 enough time to get enough rest, to get healthy? He looked about 85-90% so far this season. Does that give him enough time and the defense enough time to regroup so they can play Dallas? Dallas played phenomenal until Tony Romo does what Tony Romo does and lost that game last week. So that's going to be a tough one.
Picks?
Skins.
I'm going to go for Washington.
How about them Cowboys, huh?
Okay.
Yeah, they're going to take the Cowboys.
Okay.
Sorry, I know all of our career Cowboy fans, so they're like,
I think Lee just cut your mic off.
We got a big matchup on Monday night. Indianapolis, the upstarting Indianapolis, Andrew
Yes.
Luck, and versus taking it into San Diego to play that game against Phillip Rivers and the Chargers. Now, something interesting about the Colts. In 2 weeks, Denver Broncos play at Indianapolis. We get to see Peyton Manning come back to Indianapolis to play against this brand new team. These are not Peyton Manning's old Colts.
Yeah.
This is a hard-nosed, smash-mouth football team that can win in many different ways, and they've proved that over the past 3 weeks. I picked Indianapolis to win this game against San Diego, and I'm saying it right here. Indianapolis makes it to the Super Bowl.
Oh, check it out.
Yes, I'm going with the bold prediction early in the season.
This is a game at the beach.
Yes, it is.
Distractions.
Yes, it is.
Chargers.
Chargers, yeah, it's Manti Te'o's second game he's going to play. So we'll see how he does in the linebacker spot.
yeah. Hey, maybe his girlfriend will be there to root him on.
Or not.
In absentia, huh?
That was funny, man.
Anyway, moving
was
on.
really funny.
Moving on. Do we have any other NFL teams we need to talk about?
Detroit-Cleveland's an interesting game. The Cleveland Browns on top of the AFC North. Who would have thought that?
Nobody.
I don't think anybody. They have a stellar defense playing against the Detroit Lions, who are missing Calvin Johnson. And we saw last week how important Calvin Johnson is to the offense of that team. And I believe that's going to be a nice big defensive battle. That might be a dust-up, like 12-9 type game. Field goals possible.
Quickly touch on some college games, some good matchups. We got number 2 Oregon, number 16 Washington at Washington. Tough place to play.
Tough place to play. Washington's coming off of a very close loss to Stanford the week before. Washington wants to prove that they're an elite team. I don't think they pull it out. I think Washington loses once again by 3, very close
Yeah.
game. Oregon's just too high-powered right now.
Florida LSU, Florida 17 LSU, 10th ranked.
I believe LSU is going to win that
Yeah.
game.
Go
They both
Tigers.
have great defenses and what have you. It's a classic SEC matchup. I think LSU pulls that one out.
Lobos,
And
Wyoming,
Lobos.
Lobos, Wyoming, Lobos.
all the way.
Yeah, I learned not to pick against them anymore.